Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. My name is Talia Joy. This is the show where we dive into all things self-growth, spiritual awakening, manifestation, personal transformation, spiritual development, and all the things that, go under that. So I'm excited you're here. Welcome to my cozy corner. Today, this is one for the empaths. So if you know you're an empath, or you suspect you are, or you're for some reason drawn to this episode, this is definitely for you. If you're someone who feels things deeply, maybe you've been called 1 or 100 times that you're too sensitive. Have you ever been told that? Yep, hand up over here. If you get overwhelmed by all the feels, all the energy, if you suspect that you are more sensitive than most, or you just straight up know you're an empath, this is for you. We're going to go into 4 breakthroughs and 4 that are stemming from the main challenges I see from myself being an empath and my clients. But we're going to go into 4 breakthroughs that I feel that you need to know, that I want to teach you, that I want to remind you of, so that you can be more empowered as an empath, so you can claim back your energy and not be as drained and find it easier to have boundaries and not feel things so deeply in a way that holds you back, but also embrace that sensitivity as the gift it is. And it is such a fine balance through this whole thing. I'm going to be putting my hand way up in the air because I didn't know I was an empath all those years ago. As a teenager, as a kid, I didn't have the language for it. I probably learned this maybe about 10 years ago, and it's relatively new in that awareness. And now I understand how I am, and I understand the energy regulation, and it doesn't make it always simple and easy. And I'm often the one huddled up in a corner, overstimulated. But learning to work with it really does bring it into empowerment rather than disempowerment. So I'm excited to bring you 4 breakthroughs, 4 because that's my lucky number and I'm the owner and creator and all of the things of the show. I'm the boss. I get to pick the number. So today, guys, it's 4. We're going to go through 4 breakthroughs that you need to know as an empath. So with that, let's dive in. Grab your lemon water, grab your London fog, grab your coffee, and let's get into this episode. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm so excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life. My name is Talia Joy, and I am committed to showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to go on a magical journey of spiritual and self-growth to manifest the life you're meant for, we are now besties. Let's dive in. All right. Welcome back. Okay, so breakthrough number 1. Just claim that you're sensitive. Claim that you are sensitive. As empaths, one of the first steps in recovering from empath overwhelm is to claim that you are in fact an empath. Hello, my name is Talia and I am an empath. Owning your power, claiming your sensitivity is so important. And it's not just about saying you're an empath. It's actually about claiming the fact that you are sensitive. So I know in life, and I get this taught to me by my team all the time, that we can live in resistance to something or we can live in along with it. So I have been applying this lately to my pain healing journey and my chronic pain journey, where I can either be in resistance of the pain, going like, this freaking sucks. Why is this always happening? No matter what I do, it doesn't work. I'm literally resisting it. Or I embrace it and go like, okay, body, I feel you. Like, what do I need? And sometimes I cry, or sometimes I do feel sad, but it's allowing it rather than resisting it. So when it comes to being an empath and being sensitive, we can know we're an empath, but we constantly go like, oh man, like I cannot handle this. What's wrong with me? Why can't I? I'm a weirdo and I always joke that I'm the weirdo in the corner, but I really do claim the fact that like I need to take breaks, and my husband or my family knows sometimes I don't go to the dinner, or if I want to hang back at home and have an evening on my own, I've kind of claimed that because I need that more than a lot of people. I'm an introvert as well. So I recharge on my own. I need that. So sometimes claiming I'm sensitive within myself, I'm going, okay, what do I need? Right? Knowing thyself rather than resisting thyself. So when we suppress our sensitivity, we often feel like we're too weak or we're too sensitive, and we buy into the fact that we're too much or we're too this, we're too that. But here's the truth. Your sensitivity is a part of who you are. And there is a part of it that can be tied to trauma and different things, but there's also a superpower intuition part of it. And by the way, we're talking about all of it today. But your sensitivity ultimately is who you are, and it is a superpower to connect to others on such a deep level, to feel frequencies in the room that other people don't feel, to understand people's emotions and to be able to connect to intuition and feel for people and have an empathetic heart is literally what we need on the planet. So although it can be draining and we need our tools, we need to, again, really step into that empowerment place. We also just want to claim, like, this is who I am. I'm sensitive, okay? Like, I feel things, and that allows me to work with myself. So claim your sensitivity, step into your full power as an empath, and maybe even say right now, like, I'm claiming that I'm sensitive. Like, that's it. I'm sensitive. There's the truth. You want it? Here it is. I'm sensitive. That's the truth. Here we go. Let's start embracing it. You are tuned into the world around you, and there is that intuitive, deeply compassionate, empathetic part of you that we don't want to shove away. Sensitivity is not a curse. It can be difficult in this fast-paced, high stimulation, dense energy world, but it is a gift that helps you to navigate the world around you with more purpose and awareness, to connect in the heart, to do things from your heart, to serve others, to be empathetic, warm, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, people that care about animals, people that care about the planet. We, again, literally need you as an empath, but claiming that sensitivity, it helps us to accept it, because that's the key. Accepting that we are sensitive, meaning I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to use it as a compass to guide myself. And I'm also going to learn tools so that I'm not depleted all the time, so that I do know myself, right? So the first step here, the first breakthrough, is claim that you're sensitive instead of resisting that you're sensitive. Okay, number 2. Okay, I'm going to use the B word, okay? We're going to get a little saucy. Boundaries are self-preservation, and they're self-love. So boundaries and empaths, we have a whatever relationship, we go along with each other a lot, right? Symbiotic, except it can be really harmful. So basically what I'm saying is, as an empath, it can be really hard to set boundaries because we feel people. So we're afraid to say, like, no, I'm not going to go out. I need a night for me. Or, I no longer am going to be going out drinking with you guys on a Wednesday, or whatever it is. We set these boundaries and we feel people's disappointment, even if it's our kids and it's like, no, this is, mom's night or dad's time out. And like, no, I need to do this for me. And the kids are like, no. And you're like, never mind, I'll cancel all the plans, right? We feel people, but we need to recognize that boundaries are self-preservation. And as an empath, in some ways, you only have so much energy before you need to replace it and replenish it. So self-preservation keeps your energy home. So if you don't like to go out to this thing, but you keep saying yes to it, when you're out, your energy, like you inside your head going like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like all I'm thinking about is comfy pants or taking a bath, or I wanted to journal, or I wanted to do, some meditation. Like I shouldn't have come out. I don't want to be, that is really draining. And when we're out, we're overstimulated because we're tired, we're depleted. So our sensitivity is even more, our resilience is less, the lights are too much, the people talking about the same old stuff, and we just get more and more depleted. Or say we have boundaries around something, and then when someone calls and it's like family drama that you said you're not a part of or something, but you do it anyway, that's depleting to us. So boundaries are self-preservation. And because we interact with other people, we do have families, and I'm not just saying don't ever pick up the phone. We can learn tools to like gather ourselves. I call it like calling your energy home, coming back home, building yourself up to feel grounded and sort of like you have that reserve, and then go into a conversation. We can, scoop up our energy and hold it and build it and make it strong, and then go into Christmas, or then go into that, mall that's overstimulating or whatever. But more than that, for this point, I want to say boundaries are self-preservation. They are a form of self-love. You absorb so much energy from others, and often you're probably constantly giving without the boundaries and maybe depleting yourself. Or maybe that's something you dealt with in the past that you're getting better at, and it's recognizing that boundaries are about protecting your energy. Not about making others be different or shutting people out. It's about honoring your own needs. And sometimes you need to say no, which by the way is a full sentence. Just no, I'm good. I'm busy. I have plans. Those plans may be with your Epsom salts in your bathtub, but no. When you say that, when you honor your own needs, you are staying more balanced and connected to yourself, to your authentic needs, to your energy. You're keeping some for you. So it is about self-preservation because you deserve it. It's not about, anything else. I'm a mom of 3, there's friends and clients and of course my husband and all these other people to give to all the time. But if I don't look after myself, I'm so depleted for others. So sometimes I have to say, like, I'm going away for the weekend by myself, or I'm going to spend this hour meditating, or, I need to finish up, I was doing a self-care thing, clipping my nails in the bathroom or whatever. You guys you have to wait 20 minutes while I tend to my needs. Those boundaries are self-preservation and they're healthy. Something I want to say that is coming through as something really powerful, if this is resonating, when you are not used to boundaries, when you are not used to safe love, when you don't have that regulated, boundaries feel like you're being mean. And when other people have boundaries with you, it can be mistaken as aggressiveness. But it's not aggressiveness, right? We can think that assertiveness or having strong boundaries is the same as being aggressive or mean, but those are different. So it's something really interesting. When you're not used to boundaries, boundaries seem like you're being mean, but it's actually adjusting your sort of level of like, no, wait, boundaries are healthy. Boundaries are normal, right? It's not shutting people out. It's honoring your own little cozy bubble. So it's making sure that your energy is available to you first so that you can show up in your best or just your most authentic. Even if your best is lounging one day because your body needs rest, doing that for yourself is so powerful. So just starting to ask yourself, where are there areas in life where your energy is being leaked and you need to strengthen boundaries? Breakthrough number 3 is you can separate and disconnect. And I'm going to offer a tool that is so powerful. But first, empaths, even if we're not talking about our empathicness, we're just out in life, we're always focused on connecting and intuition and more sensitive. And I feel them and I feel you and I feel this about myself and I feel this about my future and I feel this about my past and my inner child, and it's all feeling all the time. So connecting to people is not the problem. We actually need to learn that we can disconnect from people. And again, it doesn't mean loss of love or it's nothing mean. Learning that we can separate, because we're always looking to connect, right? We're connected to our pet and our children and all these things, which is good. We want to be connected. But we can the breakthrough is knowing that you can separate yourself. You can feel the distance between you and somebody else. And I'm going to explain it in a technique that is game changing. But it's about learning how to disconnect from other people, unplug from other people while still maintaining general empathy and compassion, meaning like we care, but we're just not intertwined with your entire field getting pulled in. So you have the ability to clear your energetic field and use separation to actually not absorb people's emotions, or to get through something like a mall, or even if you're on an airplane and you're really close, squished between two people, or maybe it's in your house, there's tension with the kids, or there's, something going on and we need to disconnect. the person, the family member that you just feel bad, you want to go out, but you don't want to go out, blah, 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 you can disconnect. So this is called the separation technique. And this is something I teach in a course I have, Empath Breakthrough, as well as to my clients. It's a technique that you practice, and it right away is a huge breakthrough. And then you practice it for a little bit. You don't need to practice forever, but it will become natural. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I didn't realize I could do that. So what you start with is you take an object in front of you. And I like to make it something like a crystal or a candle or whatever, but it could literally be like a stuffed animal or a coffee mug or like anything. Put it in front of you and put it about like maybe 3 feet or 2 feet away from you. And you sit and you look at that object, let's call it a coffee mug. You sit and you look at the object, and then you start to bring your awareness to the space between you and that mug. So you actually bring your conscious awareness to all the space, all the molecules, all the atoms that are between you and the mug, all the space. So we become tuned into, look at how much space there is between that mug and me. Holy man. And then you can practice it with people or with animals or with something that often feels harder to disconnect. And again, we can do this in so much love and also so that we can support people better. So for example, say my husband, if he's having a really rough day and as an empath, I'm like feeling for him so much or it's rubbing off on me, I want to love and support him. So by disconnecting, I could imagine like the distance between us, then I can actually observe him, offer him love, go up, hug him, be like, babe, are you okay? And I can be that strength, that grounding presence, that open heart. So again and again, disconnecting is not about shutting out or not caring. It actually allows you to serve people better. I do this with my clients where like there's no problem feeling you and feeling your trajectory and your energy and you're this and you're that. But when I take one step back, I can then observe, I can reflect, I can be a channel, I can deliver it. Because when we get so entwined with somebody's energy, there's been times where even if it is my husband or my kid, I'm so into what's going on that I'm like, oh my God, like that sucks. And then I kind of go, wait, like I'm so in it that I'm actually not as good or as useful in the way of like supporting a friend, just taking a second to feel the difference. And then especially if there's people in your life where there's tension, where there's drama, or even if like my kids are bickering amongst themselves and I don't need to get involved, that feeling of separation actually allows me to be, again, a strong grounding presence. But if there's things that are more sort of quote unquote toxic or, really unhealthy dynamics or people that you're really needing to just separate from without actually cutting them out of your life or, doing this or that, that's up to you to discern. But this is about the energetic separation. And before I wrap up this tool and this breakthrough, you will feel by default. So sometimes you need to actually put the energy forward to disconnect so that you can call your energy home and not get depleted, right? You don't want to get depleted by everybody's stuff. You want to use it for wisdom and information and to just be an empath. But at the end of the day, you need to call your energy home to protect yours, to make sure, again, that your energy is available for you and not being leaked out everywhere. Okay, so the last breakthrough, number 4, is that clearing clutter will change your life, will change the game. You've probably already been called to this, but clearing clutter helps you to reclaim your sacred energy. So I am talking physical clutter. I'm also talking a mental and emotional, and we'll talk about that in a second. But physical clutter is like the empath's demise. So you've probably gone through times where you just get rid of a bunch of stuff. You clear out your closet, you clear out old stuff, or at least you've been in the position where when you did that, you were like, oh my goodness, right? And you've probably also heard about how our physical reality is a reflection of the internal world, right? So with clutter, because empaths feel so deeply, you feel the clutter because even the clutter has a story, has a vibe, has an aura, has something that it's like, oh my gosh, because the story is like, oh, there's so much stuff over there and oh, I don't even want that thing and oh, that plant is dying and oh, I said I'd clear this out. But when we get rid of stuff, it's like all the chatter starts to soften. So we want to really look at clearing physical clutter to reclaim your home energy. So the things we hold on to, the objects, the outdated items, the expired stuff, the, 100 million things from that one trip, including a receipt that like you really don't need to keep all that stuff. These things drain our energy. Our physical environment is a reflection of our internal world. And because of that, when we declutter and spruce things up and put a nice plant and, change the feng shui of the environment, our internal world follows as well. So sometimes we don't always have to put the pressure on ourselves to be like, be peaceful, be happy, be at ease. We could switch our environment that it naturally creates this like, because we are so connected to our environment. So really just giving the nudge to once again, declutter your physical space as a way to reclaim your home energy, not just the energy of your home, the energy in your body, your home base energy. So really shifting little things to feel more like a sanctuary, to bring in more natural elements like plants and crystals and wood and metal and more natural elements, maybe sacred spaces that remind you of your goals or of your spirituality or, something like that. I also always recommend decluttering the areas that mean the most. Also the areas that anything like sacred takes place or something. So for example, your bedside table, it's the last thing you look at when you go to sleep. Maybe you have an altar and that could be a sacred space that you declutter. It could even be like where you brush your teeth, like your side of the sink or whatever, having everything nice and decluttered. It's these small areas where we want to connect with ourselves, self-love, self-care. Maybe you have a meditation space or creating something like that. Again, your environment, if your environment is peaceful, internally, you're going to start feeling more of that peace. So the other part I want to talk about with clutter is mental clutter. So when you have, things buzzing around in your head, when you have a to-do list, like writing out a list, like kind of knocking it off, getting rid of that clutter in your mind. Also looking like, what can I delegate? There's times where I just forget to like ask for help, ask my in-laws to help, or I say to my husband, hey, we have to get back to the school about this, but I'll have it in my head. And when I just speak it out loud, almost always he's like, okay, I'll do it. And it's like, oh, right. Okay. Right. So sometimes thinking about mental clutter, sometimes thinking about that to-do list or, the chatter in your mind, starting to really use your tools to lessen that chatter because, it's just something that it takes up space. It really does suck our energy, especially as empaths. So the key here is clutter is going to make you feel more overwhelmed. So physical decluttering will just naturally make you feel more at ease. And this is more like for everybody, probably decluttering is a big thing. For empaths, it's everything. So clean out your car, clean out your bedside table, start with one space. Maybe it's your kitchen and it drives you crazy every day. Just spend the time doing that, put on some good music, light a candle or some incense, make the vibe really nice and declutter. It will feel so good. Your future self thanks you. So these 4 breakthroughs are: number 1, just claim that you're sensitive. I'm in here with you. So let's just claim it together. I'm sensitive. All right, world. We all know it. I'm claiming it. I'm owning it. It's my superpower. It's the thing I need to work with. It's how I work, navigating this world with more awareness of just what you are, acceptance, right? So number 1, claim that you're sensitive. Number 2, boundaries are not mean. They are self-preservation. They are self-love. Boundaries are a form of self-love. And by having boundaries, it doesn't mean you're aggressive or mean. It's normal, it's natural permission. So breakthrough number 3 was that you can actually separate and disconnect from others in love. So if it's drama, you can disconnect, you can separate yourself. And if it's the people you love the most, you can also do it just to be able to be there with them, to not get overwhelmed with their overwhelm, to be able to be strong in that situation for them because you love them. So you can separate, you can disconnect when you're on the bus with somebody or you're in a cramped environment. You can all of a sudden tune in and detect the space between you and that person. And all of a sudden you'll feel less overwhelmed. So you can separate, you can disconnect. And the last one is that clearing clutter will automatically affect your body and your physical, mental, emotional state. Decluttering is a gateway drug to inner peace and harmony for the empath. So this is your nudge to declutter that one area you're thinking of, but also being aware when you have mental clutter and just making a list, delegating, getting it out of your mind. You can even do like a brain dump type journaling where you just write and write and write and write, just get it all out. And that will really change and shift your state as an empath. So my love, I hope that this has served you, these 4 breakthroughs to empower your energy as an empath. It's really about using your tools, reclaiming and regulating your energy as best you can, embracing that you're sensitive, learning how to set these boundaries, sometimes disconnecting from others as an act of self-love and love to them, and also clearing the clutter, taking back your power. So just remember that being an empath is a gift, but it also requires awareness, practice, and a form of protection or awareness of ourself to thrive. So these breakthroughs that we went through today hopefully help you to navigate the world with more grace and resilience. These are the ones that I come back on over and over and over and cycle through, and I really hope that they served you. So thank you again for tuning in today to the Awakening Her podcast, for sharing this moment with me. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, maybe share it with an empath in your life so that they can start stepping into their power as well. Okay, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I want you to take a second to put your hand on your heart and maybe even take a deep breath and take in everything that was talked about today that resonated with you. Invite it into your cells, invite it into your mind and into your energy as you upgrade your life. It was a pleasure connecting with you in this episode. If you want more, come find me on Instagram at Talia Joy Manifestation, and I'll see you in the next episode. Sending you so much love.